Men should be men. I mean, testosterone is under attack, dude. This is my message. Testosterone is under attack. Testosterone is the go hormone. It's the lowest levels it's been in freaking hundreds of years. Men with low testosterone are the angry people.
I've heard that people that do like school shootings and stuff it's basically because they're not able to let out, basically be a man.
When it comes out of frustration, these shootings you hear about, rapists, the real nasty bastards in the world, the freaking pedos. That's low testosterone, dude.
Why does it irritate you seeing someone overweight in a nice car? How is there a correlation? Why is that bad?
People will work their arse off to buy a 200, 300 grand motor. So why would you have the vehicle you spend all your time in be a piece of shit?
Right.
And the thing you freaking put your keys in and drive around in is great.
First thought I had in my mind was, I wonder if you take steroids. Are you taking steroids? Big Steve, welcome to Winners on a Wednesday.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming down, brother.
Pleasure.
You're very successful in business, properties, lease options. You've got your own gym that you own in Spain, which is epic. But you believe, what's your message to the world?
Men should be men. I mean, freaking testosterone is under attack, dude.
Is it?
This is my message. Testosterone is under attack.
How does that relate to business? How does it relate to
business? Right. So people get it wrong. People get it twisted. Testosterone is the action hormone. The higher testosterone, all of this stuff that we're hearing these days about people being depressed, and it's not even I've got mental health issues. It's I have mental health. It's just like a broad. We've all got we all have times we feel sad, you know, called being human, but we don't make a thing out of it, you know. So you imagine that snowflakes are actually made of snow. The way to melt the snowflake is testosterone, right? Because testosterone is the action hormone. It makes us confident. People with low testosterone, I should say men with low testosterone, are the angry people.
Really?
Yeah. The low testosterone guys are the ones that are constantly angry, the ones that are frustrated, the guys that are likely to hit a woman, generally low testosterone.
Really?
Testosterone actually makes you a more energetic, more well-rounded person. If you're somebody who wants to go out and help the homeless, if you've got higher testosterone, you'll do more of that. If you just happen to be somebody that wants to fight all the time, yeah, you'll do more of that. But testosterone is the go hormone. And right now it's under attack. It's the lowest levels it's been in freaking hundreds of years.
Well, I've heard that people that do like school shootings and stuff, it's basically because they're not able to let out, basically be a man and let out their energy in the right way. So they end up doing things, stupid things.
Yeah, well, it comes out of frustration. Yeah. So all of these things, all these shootings you hear about, rapists, the real nasty bastards in the world, the freaking pedos. Right. That's low testosterone, dude.
How do you improve your testosterone and how will that help you in business?
Oh, my word. Right, so as you know, I mean, you were successful in business when we met.
Yeah.
But since you've got in better shape, like I see you on stage, I get a bit emotional because I'm freaking proud of you, man, because you've always been a good speaker, but you carry yourself now. You've got posture. You've got a way that you present yourself on stage that instantly commands even more respect. Doesn't matter how much money you've got. Remember we went to the gym a few months back and you're like, Steve, I'm a multi-millionaire, but you just walk in the gym and just because you're in shape, in a gym where nobody's allowed to take their top off, they let you get away with it.
They do, that was shocking. Yeah, we went to the gym. If I take my top off I don't even have to take my top off in the gym. If I do something slightly, put my foot wrong, leave my shoes in the wrong place, David Lloyd's, man, they'll be coming, you need to, but you were walking around like you owned the place, you had your top off, and no one said anything.
Yeah.
Is that what you get away with when you're ripped? Is that what life is like?
I tell you what, this is really interesting. So one of my best clients, this guy called Pete, freaking lovely chap. One day he said to me, so he's your typical IT guy, you know, kind of as you might imagine, you know, pale from not seeing the sunlight, early balding guy. When we first met, really lacking confidence. And over time, obviously that built as he got more testosterone, more muscle. And he said to me, Stephen, he's the only bloke other than my mum that calls me Stephen, right? Stephen, he says, people treat you differently. I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He said, when you walk down the street, he said, people move out of the way. He said, when I walk down the street, people walk into me. And he said, London, he said, big cities, he said, are horrible, nasty places for most guys. He said, when you walk around, like looking the way you do, people respect you. And I actually went to a bar once and my little brother was really pissed off about it. It's freaking hilarious, right? So I'm stood there at a bar and there's, you know, you've got about 8 empty chairs around at this bar. And somebody's come up to her, come up to me and there's a couple of chairs free. Oh, excuse me, mate, it's all right if I take this chair? And my little brother looks at me, he said, what? I said, what do you mean? He said, if it was me, they'd have just taken the chair. He said, but you, because of the way you look, people are like, oh, is it okay, sir, if I take your chair? So different things. But because I've always been in shape in my adult life, I've never known anything different. So I didn't realise.
I tell you what, I can relate to that.
Go on.
With cars. So when I became wealthy,
Yeah.
driving around in a Range Rover, people move out the way. You can park where you want.
Yeah.
If you park bad in a Range Rover, people just think, it's okay. But if you're in a bad car or you're in a little small, little rundown, like my first car was a KA. I had a Ford KA, £450 car.
Yeah.
Rust all over it, dented. You know, people bully you all over the road. So I guess it's a similar thing, really.
Really interesting you say that, because my mate used to call it silver bullet. I had this little silver KA as well, right, a few years back. And people, because they see the car and they think it's a little old lady, say bully, 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 don't they? And then you stop at the traffic lights and then you get out the car. All right, mate?
So the best is if you're in shape and you're big with muscles and in a Range Rover, then no one's gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
You said something interesting. You said that it annoys you when you see fat people who are in nice cars. And when you said that, I was a fat person in a nice car. So it kind of triggered me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying, what are we trying to say?
Triggered you in your safe space.
In my safe space. I'm like, why does it irritate you seeing someone overweight in a nice car? How is there a correlation? Why is that bad?
Right, okay, so let me qualify that. So the reason I probably said that is because for me, getting in shape is something achievable.
I'm conscious now. I'm conscious of how I'm sat. Is my belly sticking out a bit? Jeez, bro.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
I think it's more the fact that people will, work their arse off to buy a 200, 300 grand motor, but yet they might be in a car for an hour and a half a day max. For the other 23 hours of the day, they're walking around in this vehicle. This one vehicle you spend your entire life in. You can't change it. The rest of your life, no matter what, you've got to live your life in this freaking vehicle. So why would you have the vehicle you spend all your time in be a piece of shit?
Right.
And the thing you freaking put your keys in and drive around in is great, because you know what? I drove a 4K back in the day. Didn't give a crap. Didn't affect me getting ladies. Didn't affect anything, because as soon as I stepped out of it, I'm in the body that I've built. And I carry myself in the posture. So I would rather have a freaking great body than a car worth £500,000, £1 million freaking quid. So it's not so much the fat people in cars I don't get, but I don't get people that won't invest in their body, but yet they will invest in something that makes them look good. But yet they're only looking good for an hour while they're in it. Doesn't make any sense.
Does it also irritate you then when overweight people wear expensive clothes?
Well, what's the saying? You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter.
Oh, jeez. I mean, do you think that maybe it's because you can't buy a good body?
Yeah, true.
Whereas you can buy a nice car.
Yeah.
So if you've got money. Another thing I've noticed interesting is, as I've got in better shape, I mean, I'm not in great shape, but as I've got in better shape,
dude.
I'm all right. But now I do naturally want to dress a bit better.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was really overweight, I'd also dress really badly and didn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got in good shape, suddenly I want to get my teeth good. I'm right now I'm wearing Invisalign to straighten my teeth out.
Right.
You start noticing things. Whereas when you're fat, your teeth not being quite straight is the least of your worries. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why is that?
People don't care about the clothes, or that people now want to change it.
Why is it that when you get slim, you suddenly start noticing other things and want to change everything?
Well, you get slim because you give a shite about how you look. If you don't give a shite about how you look, you'll wear whatever you like. In fact, one thing I've noticed a direct correlation between fat people and litter left on the road. So what I mean by that is that people don't respect themselves, don't respect the environment. You'll never see a freaking Whole Foods wrapper left on the ground, but you will see a cigarette butt, a McDonald's freaking wrapper, shite, because people there's no respect. There's no respect for themselves. There's no respect for others. And I think the biggest thing for me is somebody being very much overweight. It's not the fact that they're very much overweight that for me is the issue. What I mean, obviously health-wise, let's call freaking spade a spade. I'm sick of this bullshit now. This plus size, fat and happy crap. You even said to me, right, when you were overweight, you had a few breathing issues.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
You cannot be 5'10" stone overweight and feel great in your skin. You're going to be out of breath. You're going to walk up the stairs. You're going to be sweaty. You're not going to feel great in your body. But not only that, but your estrogen levels will be higher. So one of the reasons why people get really freaking depressed when they drink all the time, because of what it does to the hormones. It drops your testosterone. It ramps your estrogen levels. So you literally become like a woman. You get freaking emotional. You get emotional because your estrogen levels are up. You're like, oh, I feel really sad. And you walk down the street, you don't want to make eye contact with people if you're drinking all the time, because that's how it affects you. Right. In fact, a couple of years back, I dislocated my shoulder. I thought, let me live my best life. Let me do what my clients do for a year. So for about 2-3 months, I drank pretty much every day. I ate crap just about every day. And I was walking down the street and I was like my client. I didn't want to make eye contact with people. I actually felt fearful. I felt anxiety because my physiology was screwed up. My hormones didn't realise I was a bloke anymore. They literally thought I was a woman. My hormones were estrogenic. My testosterone levels are low.
Yeah, but women don't avoid eye contact in the street, do they?
No, but it's different. It's different. I guess for women, estrogen affects them in different ways, right? And women are naturally more emotional. I'm not sure of a good way of kind of explaining it, but if somebody completely changed your emotional state overnight, you wouldn't be able to deal with it.
I'm feeling conscious now about my posture. I need to sit up straight. I want to look good, because otherwise I feel judged because I'm around you and you're in good shape and you're... But then for me, I think that's almost... Is that a bad thing, or is that positive peer pressure? Like when we first met, we met how many years ago? 6, 7?
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Might be 8 years ago, yeah.
We met at a training program, Millionaire Mind Intensive.
Yeah.
You just been, I can see you wristband. What does it say?
I have a millionaire mind.
Do you?
Oh, I'm working on it, man. Yeah. That's why I went.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to be taking it to the next level now. I've been, funny enough, talking about testosterone and being confident even. The area that I pussied out, the area that I've been playing small is with speaking, taking it to the next level, my finances.
Well, this is the thing. When we met about 8 years ago, 2016, I was fat and out of shape, but you were broke.
Yeah. And
I think that's why we kind of became friends, because it's like I was able to help you a little bit with your mindset and your finances. And since then you bought property and you financially, I mean, I know you're not where you want to be, but you're in a damn good place, really.
Yeah. Well on track.
I mean, most people would look at what you've done. Tell me about your purchase lease option agreement.
Myself and my partner Zoe essentially bought a gym out in Calpe, Spain. It's kind of Alicante.
And you just moved out to Calpe.
Lived
a good life.
Lived a good life, made the best decision ever buying bricks and mortar business in February 2020.
Just before lockdown.
Exactly. You imagine we were open for 1 month, 1 month later, shut down. Yeah. And in Spain, you've got the 3 types of police, the Policia Local, the Guardia Civil, Policia Nacional, and it was proper police state. So I had to sneak out of my apartment to go to the gym. So work out in my own gym, which was closed for 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
Crazy time. And you didn't get the support.
What do you think about that? What do you think about the COVID pandemic and everything?
What I think about the COVID pandemic? Pandemic or plandemic?
Wait, you think it was planned?
Mate, I mean, look, COVID-19, COVID-1, COVID-2, COVID-3, the basic cold and flus. We have colds and flus and they adapt and they evolve every few years, but we never shut the world down for it. And you look at the survival rate for COVID, it wasn't that dissimilar to a cold and flu. It really wasn't. So
why do you think they closed us down?
Man, good God.
Why do you think that you also believe, there's not a bit of conspiracy, like you believe that they put things in the water to try and make us like women? do you believe that?
So this is an interesting one. I don't believe there's a they, like there's a particular body of people. Maybe there is, but I don't believe that there's a group of people that put stuff in the water to make us like women. But what I do understand, and this is from having a mum who's a midwife as well, she told me the blue gel that they put in nappies, literally on your genitals, is screwing with your hormones. Contraceptives, every other woman's on the pill these days. All of that stuff, all that estrogenic contraceptive goes into the water and it's not filtered out. So it's a fact that there are high levels of this contraceptive that screw with your hormones in the tap water. And I think it's a big part of the reason why everybody's on the freaking spectrum now. You know, why people just don't know what's going on. Like people are all kind of emotionally screwed up. I think the brain develops differently. I really do, mate.
So what do you drink? You don't drink tap water?
No.
What do you drink?
Okay, so I buy BPA, like big bottles of water. I get it delivered to my apartment out in Spain.
What do you eat?
What do I eat? Fruit, vegetables, meats.
Mate, you eat so much meat.
Yeah.
We'll go out to a restaurant and sit down and you'll say, oh, I want a poke bowl with double extra meat. And then they brought you your food, and then you pulled out your bag and you had your own meat.
Yeah.
You just carry around meat with you to put. What the heck? we went out for a steak.
Yeah.
And we had a steak, and you had the biggest steak.
Yeah.
Then we had desserts, and then you ordered another steak.
Yeah. Beautiful, isn't it?
What? I'm just trying to work out.
Thank you for picking up the bill, by the way.
No, that's fine. But I'm just trying. Is that good? To eat a lot of meat?
Yeah. You need protein.
Right.
So people are realizing more and more now, the number one factor on life expectancy, and I cannot stipulate this enough, and this is for men or women, is natural lean muscle mass.
Right.
Natural lean muscle mass. In fact, it's more important to have lean muscle mass than it is to lose weight. So if you had somebody who's overweight but they had lean muscle mass, they're healthier than the skinny person who's got low muscle. So low muscle, or what we call sarcopenia, the muscle wastage, is the biggest cause of health issues. You look at somebody who's dying, you look at someone with a severe illness, cancer, all this nasty stuff. First thing happens, they waste away, they lose their muscle. You look at an alcoholic, skinny, no muscle. Anyone with a good amount of muscle is going to have a quicker metabolism. They're going to have higher levels of testosterone. They're going to have a stronger immune system if they're lifting weights on a regular basis. So yeah.
So you eat a lot of meat. How often do you work out?
Protein, yeah.
How often do you work out?
I work out 5-6 days a week.
For how long?
90 minutes a day, weight training wise, 5 days a week. I do probably half hour to 45 minutes cardio.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wouldn't say that everybody's got to do that much. Half an hour, 3 times a week for 99% of people will get you in amazing shape. A lot of my clients is all they can do.
Just 30 minutes, 3 times a week, an hour and a half a week. See, if you say you haven't got time to do that, you're lying.
Yeah, of course.
Or you just don't value your...
Well, mate, I can ask you that question, right? How do you find time to work out? Because I know that the busiest people in the world, in fact, my partner Zoe worked directly with Richard Branson. He works out every day. A lot of the people that smash it, they're finding time to work out every day. We've all got 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Why do you work out?
I work out because I think I value my body. I got very rich, and then I realised that without health, wealth is nothing. Also, longevity of life.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I could live as long as I could. And I know that people that work out and train and look after their health live a lot longer. My dad has got diabetes. I didn't want to get that.
Right.
My granddad's got diabetes as well. And I see the way that they've suffered. So that's why I took care of my health. And you've been a great coach, you know, and you are the health and fitness version of me in a way, because I offend people sometimes because I'll say, you're poor and it's your fault. And that's really triggering.
Yeah.
No excuses. What are you doing? Call a spade a spade. But in the same way, not many people will say, you're fat and it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, people won't talk like that because that will be seen as very offensive. But you do talk like that.
Have you heard of Zig Ziglar?
Yeah.
One of my favourite speakers, like yourself actually, uses a lot of biblical stuff, so I really like his stuff. And he says, for 25 years, I chose to weigh well over 250 pounds. And bear in mind, he's only a short bloke, so, 120 kilos, that's a lot of weight. And he says, I say that I chose because I've never accidentally put something in my mouth. And for me, that sums it up. You don't accidentally put food in your mouth. And I think now, there's so much information out there. There's no excuse. There's no freaking excuse for pleading ignorance. Absolute bullcrap. And, oh my word, I'm about to go off on one. But parents, overweight parents with fat kids. Oh, mate, I'll go to the beach and I'll see somebody who's freaking morbidly obese and his fat chad wife's next to him as well. She's morbidly obese. And you've got the kids with freaking big bellies out there with nice names like Wayne Beckham and Chasney and all that kind of stuff. Proper classy British stock. And they're sitting there and they're waddling along, legs are freaking chafing together and he's starting a fire. And then they just sat there eating freaking bucket loads of crisps and then giving it to their kids. And I'm thinking, if you spent your life being well overweight, you know that you've got health issues because of it. You know that you're not fat and happy. You know that you're probably angry all the time because your hormones are screwed up. You know that the world treats you a certain way, but yet you're going to let your kids do that. You're going to let your kids repeat what you're doing. I find it disgusting. For me, it's child abuse. It's freaking child abuse. It makes me angry. It makes me really angry.
That's actually one of the reasons why I got in shape, because a couple of years ago, my son, who was like maybe 4 years old at the time, he asked me, he said, Daddy, why do you have such a big belly?
What, little Luke?
Yeah.
Nice.
You did?
Yeah.
And I thought, what can I say?
Yeah, what did you say?
I just said, because I eat a lot. But then I thought, what kind of an example? I can't lie to him.
No.
I said, oh, because, because Daddy eats a lot. And then I thought, I'm now telling him that that's okay. He copies everything I do.
Yeah.
So now he's going to think, oh, Daddy eats a lot. Daddy has a big belly. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't let that happen to my son.
Yeah.
So that was a massive reason for why I got in shape. And now it's funny because now he wants to work out with me. He wants to box with me. He wants to train with me. Yeah. Every day he's like, oh, can we box? For me, it's about being the best. Yeah, I'm rich and got lots of good things going for me. But I wanted to be the perfect role model to my kids.
Yeah. And
I thought, I can't just be super overweight and be a perfect... I mean, I don't be a perfect role model. I'm not a perfect human being. But I think that was a big reason for it.
Yeah, you know what I would say as well. For me, it's incongruent. You cannot be a role model to people, teaching them about, improving their life if you know there's this gaping part that you haven't taken care of yourself, in my opinion. Because people will always, as you say, there was always that one thing that the haters could be, yeah, he's got a beautiful family, yeah, he's got the wonderful wife, he's worth being a lot of money.
When he dies, he'll go to heaven.
Exactly.
He's very good looking.
Well,
then now I look back at the pictures, I'm like, damn, I look like so bloated.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
But you really helped me with that and the coaching side of it. So lease option agreement. So this gym, how much did you put down as the option fee?
So we put down about 90. About
90 grand. But that was for the refurb of the gym?
That was, we bought the business. Yeah, we bought the business for just over 90K. And then actually we didn't put anything down directly on the business per se. We bought the business for about 90K.
Yeah.
But that money was essentially was going to go towards the buying of the building as well.
Right.
And then we've been paying rent off for the last 3-4 years. And
how much
that
rent
would be going towards it. We pay about $1,500 a month, so not a huge amount.
And what's the business turning over?
The business turns over, it's about 15 to 25 a month. So
right, so you're making good cash flow from it.
Yeah.
Putting that aside, but then you have the option to buy the entire building.
Exactly.
How much do you have the option to buy it for?
Okay, so we got the option at 700,000.
Right.
But it's been valued at 900,000. Straight away, we got a nice...
Yeah, and as the gym gets more successful, you'll be pushing the commercial element of the gym up. So you've already made a couple £100,000. So where this is really smart is you're making money from the real estate side.
Yeah.
But also from the business.
Yeah.
And you got it on an option agreement without having to put down a huge amount. I mean, I know people that put down a couple $100,000, not for the building, just for the equipment. I mean, I kitted out. My gym cost me about 10. Just a little tiny home gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your gym's huge.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's amazing. What is it about real estate that you like? Why are you attracted to real estate? Why do you think it's one of the best investments outside of your physical health?
Probably in a similar way to yourself. I know your stepdad, Tim, I know he really helped you get started with some of the real estate stuff. Yeah. I read your book. Yeah. That's part of the reason that you and I contacted again over the years, because I read your book as I was running up a mountain. I was literally listening to Buy Low, Rent High as I'm running up a mountain in Spain, getting ready for a bodybuilding show.
When was that? What year?
This was, my word, it's probably about 6 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
So, 2018?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm literally listening to that, running up this mountain, and I found out about your faith, because I didn't really know you were a Christian back then. And I thought, okay, that kind of resonated with me, because that was where my belief was at. So that was quite interesting. Like many people, I read the classic Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In fact, my dad gave me a copy of it, and I read it 15 odd years ago. And it had always been that seed of getting into property. I always loved, that sounds silly, but I always loved the board game Monopoly. Yeah, I love the idea of that, buying so many houses, getting hotels. I know similar kind of strategy that you teach to some level. That's how you do it. You build things up and then you swap it in. So I like the idea. And my dad actually, interestingly, my dad never made a fortune in his job, because my dad's a vicar. So, a man of the cloth. You don't make a lot of money, but he was always very, very smart. And he invested in a few properties. And he's got probably a good few £1 million worth of properties now, 4 or 5 properties. And I think seeing my dad do that, seeing my dad buy these places and do it, probably planted the seed to get involved with that, really.
So we met in 2016. You got my Buy Low, Rent High book.
Yeah.
What happened? Was that a shift?
I'd love to say that I read the book straight away and I thought, right, I'm going to really get the property. And that was a catalyst. Well, I wasn't aware of it being that way, but maybe it was, because I think sometimes we take in information and we may not act upon it straight away. Yeah, I think it definitely planted a seed in my mind that I need to start making moves in that direction.
When did you start buying properties, or when did you get like your first property in Spain outside of your lease option?
Okay, so I got my place.
That was 2021, your lease option, right?
Yeah. I've got to tell you a freaking great story about this place. I bought this place in Spain, and this was 2019, so just before I moved over there. I moved over there just before the pandemic, so just over 4 years now. And I bought this place, and I put down about 4 or 5 grand, I think it was, to reserve the apartment. So it wasn't an apartment, it was a townhouse in the old town of Spain. Now, I put this money down, but because I was self-employed, it took me freaking ages as a non-resident to get a mortgage. So that's another thing. If you buy in Spain and you're not a resident, you can only get about I think you can get like a 60, 70% mortgage, whereas you're a resident, you can get a lot more. So that was a difficult one. So I put down a deposit in this place. So where it took so long for me to get the rest of the mortgage sorted, being self-employed, finally got the money together, contacted the agent, and the agent said to me, no, the property's gone. What are you talking about? The property's gone. I put down 4 or 5 grand to reserve it. You've given me a date. You give me an extension till the end of September. This is the start of September. I've got the mortgage sorted now. Let's do business. No, it's gone. So you couldn't make this shit up. I'm walking through Calpe with my partner Zoe, and I bumped into this old dude called Lee. All right, Lee, how you doing? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. You know, I'm doing a few little moves and bought a property. Oh, whereabouts? In the old town. And we've looked at each other and been like, oh yeah, Lee, got a blue door, is it? Yeah, funny enough, how'd you know? Number 9? Yeah, that's the place. I paid cash for it. Mother.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so literally, so obviously he'd heard about it, or somebody had told him, and he'd gone and bought cash. But I tell you what, Lord looks after you, doesn't he, right? The good Lord looks after us, right? So a couple of months later, there was a problem with the building. And
was the problem that you burned it down?
Well, there were 2 problems with the building. Problem with the building where they had a leak, and all of the people in there had to pay like 30 grand each to sort it out. So that would have been my bill. I'd have had to deal with that. But not only that, I found an apartment which was somehow I found an apartment which was about just under 80 grand.
Yeah.
I spent 10, 15 grand and done it up, and now it's worth about 40, 50 grand more. So it's and location-wise, it's way better than the other place I would have got. So actually, it's worked out much better.
What's the serviced accommodation market? I mean, that's something that I teach and advocate pretty heavily, Airbnb, which works well in the UK. But how does that work where you are in Spain? Right,
so in Spain, you need to get a tourist license. So very important you get a tourist license, or you can be fined, I think, 30, 40 grand if you're Airbnb in your place.
So it's the importance of understanding the rules before you start doing stuff in an area.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, where the town that I live in is
how much does it cost to get a license?
150 euros.
Right, so it's super simple to get.
Yeah, right. Literally went to the council office.
So you buy a house, buy apartments, whatever. As long as you've got a license, you can rent it out short stay lets.
Yeah, exactly.
And how does the market go? How much are you getting?
So right now, I generally rent it out in the summer season, and the mortgage on this place is under 300 euros a month, right?
Right.
In July and August, I'll get about 4 grand a month.
Profit?
Yeah. Well, no, 4 grand minus
a few £100 mortgage.
Yeah, so in fact, it probably cost me 600 all in.
So one little tiny apartment is basically financial freedom?
For 1 bedroom, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, to be honest, the plan is to get a few more of those pretty quickly. So you could easily have them running at 20k a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be profit. You probably make 12 grand a year profit, but 12 grand a year profit, and it's costing you 80, 90 grand.
Wow.
I mean, obviously with a mortgage, you'd be paying a lot less than that, but yeah.
That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How much do you think personal development, I know you read a lot of books, does that play into your business? You've got your fitness business, you're running retreats, you've got your property business, you've got your gym. I mean, how important is it to be spending time not just at the gym exercising your body, but also going, and I know you've got a lot of courses, you've done a lot of my programs, other people's programs. Yeah. How important is that?
I mean, personal development is hugely important, but I'll just add a caveat to that. You've done a couple of things for me last year or so, which I really appreciated. Number one was I was going to go on all of your property courses, all of them, right? So I was going to go sign up for this one, that one, that one. And you actually said to me, which I've got to bring up because I've got mad respect for you. You said, right now, I don't think you should go on this property course. You said, right now, for you, I would actually leverage the current business you've already got. And just the reason I'm saying it as well is because sometimes you can get stuck in a like analysis paralysis or over procrastinations. It's like, right, rather than taking action, I'm going to go on this course. All right, and then I'm going to go another course. And you also said to me, I wouldn't read it where I was at, 6 months back. I wouldn't read another personal development book until you take an action on what you already know. Yeah. So yeah, personal development's super important.
Yeah, because you've done
action is more important.
You've done some of my training programs, but at the same time, you were wanting to go on this course, and I was like, no. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. Just do this. And I think you were surprised because you thought I'd just be like trying to take as much money off of you as I could.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For me, mate, that was a big thing. I guarantee if I'd have gone, I don't trust these guys, but if I'd gone on the Millionaire Mind, if I'd gone on a Robert Kiyosaki course, I'd gone on any other courses and asked them, what should I do? They'd have gone, yeah, come on all my courses. And I'm not saying there wouldn't be value in all those courses, but I guarantee they'd have sold me. For you not to sell me gave me huge respect because it would have been so easy because I trust you, because I know how successful you are in business. But for you not to sell me on those courses at that time because you're like, right, here's what Steve needs. Yeah. Do that. So,
but you know what it is? It's like, I coach a lot of celebrities and stuff, right?
Yeah.
If someone comes to me and they're a singer, an artist, I'm not going to name drop or anything like that, but I've had some very wealthy, famous folks come to me. If I say to them, stop singing, instead you should do rent to rent.
Yeah.
And that's what you actually wanted to do. You said you wanted to do some rent to rent training. I said, why? Yeah. Why? You've got your gym on a lease option. Cool. You've got your properties that you're buying and renting out. You've got your actual business. I wouldn't be spreading yourself too thin. You're making good cash flow already. You need to be honing in on that and then dumping the profits into buying more properties. Not having another business. That's what I said. So it's just, for me, that's just giving good advice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And same with you. I'd like to think as a fitness trainer, you're not going to sell me supplements that I don't need.
Yeah.
Because that's unethical.
Yeah.
You might say, no, you need to drink more water. You're not going to make any money out of that. But that's one of the reasons why the pharmaceutical companies are so messed up.
Yeah.
Because you'll go and you'll say, I've got a headache. You're dehydrated. And they'll say, here's some tablets.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man.
It is. And it's the same. You've got that same thing in the property industry where, oh man, I'm really skint. Oh, you need to do this course. Well, do you? So for me, I'm not running a training company. I don't run my education company because I need money to do it. I don't need money to do that. Yeah. I charge because it needs to pay for itself. It needs to be a sustainable business. But for me, I'll always give the best advice to the person.
But so going back to the charging thing as well, I think you might have said to me that when you pay attention.
Yeah.
And I found that, back in the day, I used to do personal training where you're charging 20, 30 quid an hour and you're basically offering 5 sessions, 10 sessions. And it's a bit like going to the doctor, telling them your symptoms, and they're just going, right, what do you want? Do you want this drug, that drug? Do you want this treatment, that treatment? You don't freaking know. Our job as a coach is to diagnose, and actually the solution to that problem isn't going to be X amount of personal training sessions. It's going to be, okay, what am I eating? What am I doing for the 100 odd hours a week outside the gym? How's my sleep? How's my stress? How are my hormones? 100 different things. And that's how you get better results. And that's why after competing as a bodybuilder, when I had a mentor, I'd do things completely differently. And going back to the whole pharmacy thing as well, dude. I mean, we spoke originally about, going to Spain during COVID. You had to have a passport to go out. You literally had to have a COVID certificate to go in bars and restaurants in Spain. It was freaking ridiculous. So we just took screenshots of our mate, the guy who worked for us, because I didn't want to get vaccinated. But my issue was the logic issue, right? So if I've been giving you advice for your entire life, and every time I give you advice, so let's say you come to me and you want to make some money, I'll give you some advice, you lose money. Next time I give you advice, you lose money. Next time I give you advice, you lose money. And the entire life you've been coming to me, despite me giving you shit advice, and I give you bad advice. And all of a sudden, I say to you, right, go and freaking sell your house, or go and stick a freaking needle in your arm. I've created a special serum that's going to make you money. Do you do it? Of course you don't, because you've realised that I'm not giving you good advice. So I've been in health and fitness for 20 years, helping people improve their bodies, helping people live longer, be fitter and healthier. And I've had people freaking 20, 30 stone overweight, looking like they're about to die, chain smoking, and they're telling me that I'm harming their freaking health by not getting vaccinated. In fact, I ran up a mountain once, right? Run up a mountain by the sea air, and this old lady's got a freaking mask on. Sea breeze. Even if I had the freaking Black Death, I wouldn't be in danger in her life. And she's going like that, like I'm freaking trying to harm her. So that was my issue, right? Purely based on logic. If you've been getting misinformation from one place, the government, when it comes to health and fitness, people are getting more and more unfit. The nutrition pyramid's back to front. Everything we're taught growing up about nutrition and health, based on the government, freaking doctors, educated drugs pushers, is bullshit. It's all freaking back to front. And now that person who's been lying to me my entire freaking life, and my parents and my grandparents, suddenly says, right, stick that in your arm, or you're freaking harming other people. Are you going to do it?
The key is to pay attention to your health, study it, research it. Me and my wife have a lot of interesting conversations about vaccinations with obviously our kids.
Yeah.
Got to decide, are we gonna vaccinate them or are we not? And we'll research each one and look into it. Not blindly trust the government, but at the same time not be so skeptical. And it's also interesting because I meet some people that are like, oh, I'm not going to get vaccinated. It's harmful, and then they'll have a tub of Pringles. It's like, okay,
exactly. You've got to examine your sources. It's like, you came to me, I like to think, because I've got myself in pretty decent shape.
Yeah. No, I saw a video of you actually. I saw a video of you on a run and that, and I thought, man, this guy's got a great body. First thought I had in my mind was, I wonder if you take steroids. I wonder if you take steroids. That's the little hater voice right now. It's me, like, I'm rich, and people say, oh, you must be a scammer, or your parents must have inherited you lots of money. And I think when people see people that are in good shape, it's like, the fat people are just like, you're on steroids. And also the people that accuse people of steroids are always either scrawny or overweight.
Yeah.
Are you taking steroids?
Angry little fuckers. Hell no.
Never?
Hell no. No.
You're all natural?
I plan to live the rest of my life without having ever taken anything. 100% natural, yeah.
And you've literally been tested as well to prove that, because a lot of people were skeptical.
I mean, look, again, unfortunately, it's not as big as the Olympia, but natural bodybuilding, is a thing. In fact, one of the reasons I didn't compete as a natural bodybuilder in my 20s, because I thought everyone doing bodybuilding was on roids. And I found out about these natural bodybuilding federations, and they do polygraph testing, they do urine testing, all that kind of stuff. But you really don't need to.
You said for my health and fitness, you always want me to have a goal.
Yeah.
So my first goal was my boxing match that I had with Rob Moore.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, now then what's the next goal? But even if it's like a photo shoot or something.
Yeah. See, that was really interesting because you'd done really well. You had done really freaking great with a coach before we met. You'd achieved awesome things, and you'd lost a lot of weight.
No, you helped me do that, man. That was Rob Moore fight. We were training for that.
No, but I mean before that, dude. Before
back in there.
Back in there.
Yeah, Marvin Ambrosius.
Yeah.
Boom, legend.
Exactly.
He helped me a lot lose weight.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd done great things, but for me, you'd focus purely on the losing weight part and not on the building muscle whilst losing weight, which meant you had a slower metabolism. So
you're trying to get rid of my shirts now. I put this on because I knew that if I wore my polo shirt, you'd be ripping into me and telling me I need to change it. You don't like my polo shirts.
You know what? They're a great way to hide a fat belly, aren't they? They're a great way to hide the belly, because I know a lot of your team were basically built like Rolos. Now I know most of your guys are now working on getting in shape.
Well, they all went out on your retreat. That's what. Man.
Well, Ricky came out. Ricky Mandel Mandem.
Yeah.
He came out.
Me and Ricky have revolutionised the company now.
Yeah.
So
nice.
And you love that, and you do a lot of retreats yourself. You're an advocate for learning, developing. What books are you reading right now?
What book am I reading right now? The book I'm reading right now is a book called How to Read a Book, which you told me about.
I did.
So, because I figured, like, you spend all this time reading stuff to learn, you want to do it more efficiently.
Sharpen the iron.
Sharpen the iron. Exactly. Good. Sharpen your axe.
Yeah.
So, but, so I'm reading that. What else am I reading? I'm reading a book by The Millionaire Mind. That Robert Riley Riopel. He's got a book called Success Left Clues. So I just started reading that.
What was that book Zoe's reading at the minute you were talking about earlier?
Oh, book Limitless.
What's that about?
Really great book. It's about a guy who essentially was labelled the boy with a broken brain. He had an accident, got severe brain damage, and couldn't really learn, couldn't retain information. So it's about the science of learning. So it's not just about a particular subject, but how we actually improve our cognitive function, how we make our brains more efficient. And of course, all of these books about brain efficiency talk about nutrition. They talk about exercise. We increase blood oxygen. So you, as an entrepreneur, when you work out on a daily basis, your brain gets a turbocharge. you're able to solve problems more because your brain's getting more oxygen. So you're literally able to do that much more. And this is the thing for people that are super busy and they're trying to make money, by them taking a step back and spending 20, 30 minutes a day working out, they're actually more productive for the rest of the day.
Right.
And they make more money because of that. If nutritionally we could get everything we need without animal sources, I'd be all over it. Why not? Why not? But we freaking can't. Everybody on a vegan diet is supplementing with something normally that comes from an animal. You know, it's really difficult. I went to an exhibition once, right? And there was this stand called the Vegan Bodybuilders. And of course they used the gorilla, didn't they, as their motive, because gorillas eat bananas and they're massive and hench. But they're gorillas, you know? You know, it's like cows eat grass, and if one ran into you, you know, you'd probably get hurt. But you're not going to sit there eating grass, are you? You're trying to build muscle. Cows also got 4 stomachs. You know, so we as a laugh, me and my mate, we pretended that I was a vegan bodybuilder, and they all thought I was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was probably 20, 30 kilos lighter back then. I wasn't, you know, I was quite a lot smaller, and they were like, "Oh, how do you do it? Wow, you're on a vegan diet." They were so impressed, and I'm thinking, "No, I'm not, mate. You know, I take this special vegan protein made out of cows, and in fact, technically, I am a vegan because everything I eat, you know, cows eat grass." And so therefore cows are made out of grass because you are what you eat. So therefore I'm a vegan.
Mate, you're a troll. So were they like absolutely loving you? But they're like, oh my gosh, we found the biggest bodybuilding vegan. You're going to be the testimonial of testimonials. And then you told them that actually you were just trolling them.
I had to stop them, mate, because one of them started building a shrine to me at that point. I said, stop it.
Visions for the future.
Visions for the future. Man, you know, right now I'm super excited about the retreats. Obviously, we collaborated, did the
Well, mate, a bunch of my academy members went out on your retreat in Spain, and they are absolutely, they loved it. They're transforming their bodies, and they did it because I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been out now, I think 3 times to spend time with you out in Spain on your retreats and doing what you're doing. Well, I can't wait to see your success in that, continued success in the property market. And if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get in touch?
At Steve Walker Coach is my Instagram handle. So
at Steve Walker Coach.
Steve Walker Coach Instagram tag, Instagram handle. So yeah.
Great, man.
Perfect.
Love.
Big love. Thank you, man.